Hello, I'm Mother Romanica Starworth, Jurisdictional Supervisor for Kentucky First Jurisdiction, where my prelate is Bishop John W. Fleming here, and I'm here in Louisville, Kentucky. I wanted to share with you all our program that the Lord gave us with this pandemic and the learning situations with the schools. Our schools shut down. And then we went into non-traditional instruction, we call NTI, and virtual learning became the order of the day. And the Lord began to deal with me about how difficult it was going to be for the average student and for the student that was having difficulty in the first place. Now, this program, it works pretty much for the very motivated student, the motivated parent, but the rest of the kids was going to have problems, and we knew it. And I shared this idea that I had with Sister Andra Lipscomb. And this woman is an elementary school teacher, and she teaches certified from K through 5. She's a STEM teacher. She has an MBA and a master's in education and a principal level 1 and 2. And she's a doctorate candidate in organizational leadership from Western Kentucky University. And she's also been business owner, gaining academic proficiency tutoring program. And I began to share with her the problem that I had with it. I said, our kids are there are so many of our children that's going to fall through the cracks. And I said, it won't take 5 years for it to show up. And we won't have a learning gap. We will have a Grand Canyon. And so I shared the idea with Andra. And we had our powwow sessions, and she just came on board. And Andra, you can take it from here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mother. So we have some really great takeaways from what we have been doing here in Kentucky First. What we came together this summer and thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. You know, we both felt the same way about what had happened with NTI in the spring, and me as a classroom teacher, just knowing the challenges there and thinking that we would start back in August, and it didn't happen. So we knew we needed to bring our parents resources and our children resources so they could successfully navigate. And we came up with a grassroots program, Village Activate NTI 2.0. So let's just keep going and talk about some of the things that had happened and when we very first started.
Well, Andra got in touch with some of the movers and the shakers of our school system, not just in Louisville, but they work in the state as well. And those people came on, they shared, they listened to us. And then they helped us, and we've had wonderful teachers who came in, and these people volunteering their time and their expertise to help us. And so we got started. Like she said, we thought that we were going to be doing this for about a couple of weeks, but it has continued even to now. And we came up with ideas of how we were going to help our parents help the online learning, because this was new for everybody. And Andra?
Yes, and with online learning, in this first session that we had, if we'll go ahead and do the slide, and we'll be able to show you some of the things that we did at that time. So on that very first slide, it shows an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of yourself. That was one of the biggest things that we really wanted parents to know about, taking care of yourself. So we just had a lot of different topics that day. I even presented myself how to communicate with the teacher. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my school always talks about how I build those relationships with parents. And I start that from day one. So we really wanted parents in this virtual environment, how to communicate with teachers and give them some resources on that. So, and Mother even just created, when you talked about creating the schedule and the designated learning space, that was a wonderful topic.
Yeah, for our designated learning space, we were actually able to bless many of our students with those trifolds. And so that the children, and we have the pictures of these, we had trifolds that, so that the children could be organized and they could know what they were going to do without distractions. And this worked out very well for the parents. They were so happy for this, along with our children. And so we have in our learning space, and we want to show you what those designated learning spaces look like. And
that's on our next slide.
Yes, and we can move on because we talked about these are some of the things that we talked about on our first sessions, but let's show you the slides that we did, the designated learning
spaces. Yes. Oh, yes. These were great.
Yeah.
These were great. And Mother, remember I told you how this one came about was through a teacher at my school. Yes. And she had put that on Facebook because she had to create these for her children, for their learning style. And she just wrote from her heart the challenges she had as a parent and what she needed to create. And she said by the time she went to bed that night and she got up the next morning, she had 100,000 views on this. Yeah. So I called her, I said, can I use this? I have a church program, I need to use it. And we used it, and our parents and you just took a hold of it. Yeah. And it worked phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And it was really good for our children because they got up in the morning, they got together. We told the parents to set a routine that the children could keep, and they went to school. And this trifold became their classroom. And it really helped them to be organized and have them to have a focal point without a lot of distractions. And we had our children to come in, and a lot of the children came and they just talked about their perspective of NTI. They talked about, and we have slides to show that, they talked about the good things and the bad things and the not so. They were very uncertain about a lot of things. And they came and presented. And not only did we enjoy listening to our children, but we heard their heart. We heard the thing that was difficult for them. And then we had people from the school board. And we'll just show you some of our students here, the slides showing our students.
So we'll just move a few more slides on. Yep. So these were some of the students that gave their NTI perspective.
And we had juniors in high school, we had 8th graders, and we actually had a 2nd grader, and she was very articulate and told us the things that she liked about it and the things she didn't. Let's move on. And we found the challenges that the kids had, and we had high school students, and it was just a good experience for us to find out how the children were thinking.
Right. And we even found out with one of the students that they were having a challenge in their orchestra.
Right.
A magnet program here for performing arts. And she was very concerned that she was not getting what she needed in her class, you know, from her teacher to be able to try out this spring so she could go to that school. So we were able to really help her resolve that problem and, you know, really feel confident, get her a tutor, really, for our instrument.
Yeah, we were able to get in touch with the director of the Louisville Orchestra, and those musicians have lent their talent to help our children during this time. And then we were so blessed. We have a wonderful woman that's a member of our jurisdiction, Sister McGuire, and she is an expert when it comes to digital learning and digital citizenship. And she shared so much wonderful information. I think everybody needs to know about a lot of the things that she shared about your digital footprint. Andra?
Yeah, and same, she was just total phenomenal about what, even on the next slide, you know, we were able to present some more information that she had, and be internet awesome, you know, like from Google, and how it has so many interesting facts on there for parents and for kids. And again, that digital safety is also a part of that too. So it was just great.
Okay, and the other thing that we were able to provide, and that's tutoring. And we have in-person and we have virtual tutoring as well. And that has really worked very well. And we are utilizing our retired teachers who have taken it to heart, and they are really helping our children so that they can catch up and stay up and actually excel.
Right, and tutoring is so important right now, especially from what I see as a classroom teacher, a teacher system, because there are a lot of challenges right now because a lot of children learn differently, and learning in the online environment has been a challenge even for our highly successful students. We've had a lot of parents reach out to us and really want to take hold of the tutoring part of it because parents are working, so, and they're still challenged, you know, with Common Core, the standards, because teaching school is not like when we grew up. So parents tend to try to teach it the way when they grew up. So how it's taught now. So the tutoring aspect of it is definitely helped. We're going to move on a little bit more.
Yeah, and we went ahead to try to make sure that our children learn how to acclimate. And that was a very important thing. And we gave them tools, and they had their own little toolkit, and they were able to keep up with their coursework and know what to do, how to do it, and when. And we really emphasize, if you need help, say so.
That is so true.
Cry out if you need help. And because of that, we were able to come in with a lot of information. Actually, we became, I think, a resource center. Andra?
Yes, we did, because we're just showing you a second ago with the virtual academy and the in-person options. Our district decided once our rates were going to be going down with the COVID-19 that we would have this option for parents. So a virtual option, and parents if they decided to send their children back to school. So we started bringing this information to Village Activate, so parents knew where this documentation was because it was a time frame that they need to fill it out. So we assisted with that, you know, so parents could understand the process of that during that time. And this, I believe, was back in October. It seems like so long ago now.
Yeah.
It was back in October when we were doing this in-person option. And this is pretty much becoming a reality here in Kentucky right now in our district. So we are getting ready to explore this. So I'm glad we were able to be there in the beginning to help our parents know their options. So a resource we were.
Oh yeah. And then we have, before we go to our speaker series, let's deal with our investment plan. Let's get the next slide. No, go up one slide. Go back one. Okay, Andra.
This one right here, this was during the election time, and it was just really important that we brought someone in to talk to the village.
Mhm.
This investment plan was so important for our district because there was a lot of confusion out there. So we were really privileged to have the president of our Jefferson County School Board, Dr. Diane Porter, came in and talked to our group,
Mhm.
brought a presentation and really broke it down. So we were really thrilled to be able to have that, and everyone got their questions answered regarding this, because it was a tax to homeowners for this, but everyone was clear and had that clarity, and she was able to bring that to us. So that was really important that we were able to bring that aspect to the community.
Well, we were so happy to have people of that caliber, and they came just for the asking. And the president of our board, she came more than once, and she came just to listen. And not just to listen, she took what we said and what our children said and what the parents and the teachers said, and went back with efforts and with efforts to make things better. And we were so blessed by that. And so our next series, and we're coming up to the end of our presentation here, but we had our emotional management strategies. We call that our 911 series, because this was around about November. And everybody was so stressed. And we had the students to come in, and these students talked about their emotions. They told about how this was all impacting them. We had some who were depressed, and we had some who were becoming so unsure of themselves, even our really good students. And so we were just so blessed to have professionals, mental health professionals, to come in, and with each one of our children that came, and we had fourth graders, we had seventh grader, we had 11th grader, 10th grader, and boys and girls, to say how this was impacting them. And we had professionals who we never let any session in without giving them tools, coping tools to work with. And this really, we've got good feedback from those children and just from the program as a whole. And then we went, that was our first session. We call it our speaker session. Andra, our emotional management strategies, our speaker series 2, we dealt with the parents.
Right.
Okay.
And because we really thought that since had our target audience was students, parents, and teachers, it was so important that we break those sessions up and really have that safe space where they could talk. Mother, like you said, to give them the tools, to help them navigate through this pandemic. And so when we got to the parent session, we had parents come, and we just really wanted to create that safe place and that safe platform, because we know everyth's not okay.
Right.
We know everything wasn't okay. We wanted our parents to talk, and that was really eye-opening. And that because they're parents, they're working, they have to put their teacher hat on too, because the day, and then they were helping at night, and then they're still working, and they still have to do that job of mom and dad. And it was just really interesting, and really heartfelt that we could really help them too navigate through this.
Yeah, and what was really good is that we had fathers who came in also and shared. And a lot of these parents are working from home, and they have to do their jobs and work with their children at the same time. This is really difficult. And they talked about emotionally how it affected them. And we were blessed, as I said earlier, to really give them good tools to work with. We had professionals to come in and who just shared their expertise, making it easy for them. They opened up and talked about what was really going on with them. And then our last session of our speaker series was we had the teachers to come in.
Yes. Yes.
And the president of the board was there that day as well. And we had the teachers to come in and created a very safe space for them to talk. And Andra, being a teacher, you really could understand. We had principals, we had vice principals, and we had just a lot of people, and we had nationally board certified therapists that came in, and it was just really good. Andra?
Yes, and the thing that I really wanted to bring teachers in on this one, and we'll show you on this next slide, with the teachers, because I really want to make sure, and this we had elementary teachers, because to me, elementary is the foundation. And we really wanted to hear from our elementary teachers what was happening. And some of them had 1 or 2 years experience, and they were able to talk about what was going on, because everyone's not all right.
Right.
You know, and that just really was very impactful. And even on the high school end of it, they're getting ready to graduate. You know, she was concerned, is she going to make sure they're ready for graduation? So like you said, we really wanted to give them that voice and that safe space, but we also wanted parents to hear the other side.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What was going on the other side of that street.
I think one of the things that's really coming out of this, the parents are really going to have a much higher appreciation for teachers, because they have to be the teachers at home and be able to carry out what the teachers are asking the student to do. Let's see the slides.
The next one. Yeah, these are some of our high school teachers.
Yes.
Yeah. And Nick, oh my goodness, we had a male teacher back up a little bit. I had the pleasure of, with Mr. Williams, before he even became a certified teacher, mentor him in my classroom. I knew from that very moment that I met him that he would be an awesome teacher. And he's phenomenal. But he came in and shared about his classroom. And even just as a Black male, you know, what he wanted to do virtually with his classroom, with his boys, it was just really impactful. I just really felt that us letting them talk gave great value to what we were doing.
It really did. And the other thing is that to hear how hard the teachers work well after school is out. Some of them talk about how they didn't even stop until 10 at night, just trying to answer phone calls, answer texts, answer emails, so that the children can get the best out of this. And their biggest worry was, am I getting the information that these students are going to need to be able to to move on successfully to the next grade level? And we do have our hats are off to teachers. And Andra, tell us about Dr. Warren. She was dynamic.
Oh, yes, she was. I've had the pleasure of knowing Dr. Warren at least 30 years, Michigan, and she lives in Wisconsin now. And I told her what we were doing with the speaker series. And I said, would you please do me the honor? Because she is a clinical supervisor, her previous profession. And now she's an assistant dean in Wisconsin. And I wanted her to come and talk and just those strategies. And one thing that she did that I thoroughly loved, when she listened to our teachers, she took notes on everything they said. And she was able to personalize information, personalized solutions for those. So that was just a value to what we are doing, and a testament to the fact that we're here to be of service. And the people that we bring on board are being of service, you know, to our teachers, our community, to everyone. And we're going to have her back again, because she's just absolutely phenomenal in what she does. And, you know, with the group that she has, elevate to success, and just a phenomenal group. So we're going to have her come and talk to some of our students. So she's just absolutely wonderful.
Now, that was our last session for last semester. Now, where we are now,
We are now.
We have been elevated
Yes.
because of the work that we're doing in our city and in our state, that we are Village Activate is now a virtual learning hub for our JCPS. And we are so happy. And we've got all kinds of good things that we are going to be able to branch out and improve and reach even more of our students. Andra.
I'm just so glad about that, Mother. Just the little idea that we came together with and was just going to be a couple of weeks has blossomed, you know, something that our entire community here in Louisville is going to benefit from. Not just a select group, but everyone. And while we're still in this virtual environment, we're going to do it as the virtual hub so kids can plug in to wherever they are. And to get resources. And I'm just glad, like you are, that we have initiatives coming up. And I was like, oh my goodness. So, you know, that's going to impact, because school supply distribution, again, being a teacher, I tell them, okay, go get a pencil, piece of paper. I don't have any. They don't have anything. We're back to, you know, supplying paper and pencils and everything again, and then providing those creative outlets and partnering with the water department and visual arts, and working on a residency and integration in a STEM program and the virtual tutoring. So this is really, really taking off, and I'm just so excited to be a part of this. So excited.
Well, I'm glad that we had this opportunity to share with those of you who are listening, so that you can see what you can do. I really believe this, and I live by it. One can make a difference. And with the help of the Lord, any one of us can be that difference. And don't get two minds working together. There's no telling what we can do. And I thank you for this opportunity. I thank God for our bishop for supporting. He's a great support. And our city is blessed by this that the Lord has blessed us to do. And you can contact us. And our contact information will be at the end of the presentation. Oh, no, it's in the book. And so you can contact us. And if there's anything that we can do to help you establish it in your area, we'll be happy to do just that. God bless you.